ESPN surveying of 70 plus NFL coaches, NFL front office execs, and NFL scouts. So they write about this off-ball linebacker list. The most uneven positional group of the top 10 series, linebacker is top-heavy and void of consensus. 3 players appear on at least 70% of the ballots. Usually that number is much higher, yet 32 players earned at least 1 vote. The top 2 is identical to last year, but the rest of the field is jumbled with 4 first-time honorees and an aging player returning to the list after a few years out of the mix. So here it goes. Off-ball linebackers. So the non-edge pass rushers / linebackers. There's a top 10, and then there are several honorable mentions. As they mentioned, a lot of players got a lot of votes. So we would be looking at Bobby Wagner and Frankie Luvu, 2 second-team All-Pros last year. Fred Warner, number 1 on the list. That's where he was last year. Fred Warner's spectacular. And if he's, completely healthy along with the rest of the 49ers, they are going to be good this year. Key for them is to have everybody on the field for the majority of games. Number 2 is Roquan Smith in Baltimore. Number 3, I actually, before I saw this list early this morning, I thought this guy was going to be number 1. I thought Zack Baun, the season he had in Philadelphia after signing his free agent deal in Philadelphia, I thought he had an outrageous season last year and would be number 1 on the list. But one of the things that I didn't realize is that he wasn't anywhere near the list last year or ever, because he's never been ranked on this list before. Remember, he did not have productive sack years in New Orleans. But they write, Baun is emblematic of what's great about the NFL. A role player making $3.5 million one year can earn a $51 million deal the next, thanks to an unexpected star turn. Opportunity met untapped talent when Baun joined Philadelphia as an unrestricted free agent in 2024. Vic Fangio's scheme was ideal for Baun. Remember, he moved him to middle linebacker. Once a rotational linebacker in New Orleans, who earned all-pro honors thanks to 151 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 11 tackles for loss. He also appeared on nearly 90% of the ballots. One NFC exec, said, Baun didn't get a lot of defensive snaps in New Orleans, so he seized the opportunity when given a full run in Philly. His 41% run-stop win rate was first among the linebackers in top 10. Another NFC exec said, finally came into his own. He's such a versatile defender that can affect the game in multiple ways, that his strength was potentially hindering him from reaching his ceiling on his early on in his career. Instead, he really mastered stacked inside linebacker play and was able to build up that foundation to take advantage of his athletic ability and playmaking. Zack Baun was so good last year. Number 4 on the off-ball linebacker list, Nick Bolton, Kansas City. And then number 5. God, I was thrilled to see this, but I did not expect it. But I love the fact that NFL people realize how good this guy is and how much better he is going to get, I think. Frankie Luvu came in at number 5 on the list. Last year, I said many times, he may be the second best pound-for-pound player on the team after Jaden, third worst case after Jaden and Terry. Here's what they wrote about Frankie Luvu, who's never been ranked on this list before. Luvu's first year as a Commander vaulted him into the top 10 conversation. He received a few votes last year, but was largely a non-factor in the voting. But this year he appeared in the top 5 on many ballots. While some evaluators believe number 5 is rich for Luvu, he earned the votes, and this is a composite ranking. One NFL defensive coach said, quote, I have so much respect for him. He's been one of the best tone setters in the NFL. His production over the last 3 years is as good as anyone, closed quote. Head coach Dan Quinn deploys Luvu somewhat similarly to Micah Parsons in Dallas, a hybrid linebacker with pass rush ability off the edge. Luvu capitalized in a big way with 8 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. And remember this, guys, from last year, 7 pass deflections on his way to second-team All-Pro honors. One NFL coordinator said, versatile, playmaking in the run game, the pass game, and with pass rush. His play style is all over the tape. One knock on Luvu, they write he's a bit of a scheme fit, can't play in every scheme, can't ask him to play in man coverage consistently. That according to one NFC executive. So Frankie Luvu in the ESPN surveying of coaches, execs, and scouts, ranking of the top 10 off-ball linebackers, Frankie Luvu's number 5. Number 6, Tremaine Edmonds in Chicago. Number 7, God, Levante David just keeps getting that respect. 35 years old. He comes in at 7. Here's a guy that you're going to have to keep an eye on because he's gotten hurt and he was a rookie, a second-year guy last year. DeMarvion Overshone. Remember him last year? If you were watching Dallas during the course of the season last year, he wore jersey number 0 for the Cowboys. He ended up getting hurt and missed a few games, but God, he was good last year in his season, rookie season for the Cowboys. He missed the 2023 season with injury. So Overshone comes in on this list at number 7 on the list. Is that where he is? Hold on. Let me go back to the list. He comes in at number 8 after Levante David. That is a high ranking for Overshone in Dallas, but man, he was exciting to watch. Dre Greenlaw in Denver was 9th. Quincy Williams, the Jets, at number 10. God, Quincy Williams was much higher on that list. Yeah, he was a few years ago ranked number 2 on this list. All right, honorable mention was Wagner and honorable mention. They list these in order, by the way, of votes. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is the first honorable mention. A lot of people would have preferred that he got drafted a few years back. And then Bobby Wagner. So Bobby Wagner essentially is 12th on this list. They write the physical skills have declined, but he can compensate with all-world instincts, one AFC exec said. Still great at getting a jump on a play, doing everything you want out of a linebacker. Smart, instinctive, knows what everybody is doing. Pass coverage is where you see a little bit of a dip, which is expected at this stage, said another NFL personnel evaluator. So Washington with 2 of the top 12 off-ball linebackers in the league. Patrick Queen, Demario Davis, Matt Milano, Logan Wilson, Jack Campbell, Alaquan in Jacksonville, Sherwood with the Jets, Franklin in Indianapolis, and Blake Cashman in Minnesota were all honorable mentions as well. So there you go. Washington's got Tunsil at number 7 on the tackle list. They've got Jaden at number 5 on the quarterback list, and they've got Luvu on the list of at number 5 of off-ball linebackers, with Wagner as an honorable mention, and in the rankings would have been 12th had they extended it. Sam Cosmi got others receiving votes for interior offensive linemen, and Brian Robinson Jr. got others receiving votes for running backs. Tomorrow we will get receivers, and that's a list, man, to put together. That is a tough list to put together.